Hello, friends. Happy Saturday to you. Ariel Helwani here, and as you can see, I'm back at the old HQ. No more videos from the Duomo, no more videos from the Italian Alps. Those days are over, which also means I'll be back in studio on Monday. We are back to our regular schedule beginning this Monday. I believe that's March 2nd. Helwani show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Boys in the Back on Thursday. Crack on Friday. The boys did a great job of carrying the baton. But it's back to normal, so I hope you're excited about that. A lot of news to discuss on Monday's show, and there's a lot of things that I'm going to save for Monday's show. Obviously, we got the Rico Verhoeven versus Alexander Usyk fight. I could tell you a lot about how that fight was made and just sort of the inside baseball sausages made type of dealings leading up to that announcement. Yesterday, the fight is happening May 23rd in Egypt. I'm going to save all of that. I'm going to save the Conor Benn stuff. I'm going to save everything else. This video is a breaking news video about news that dropped late Friday night, courtesy of UFC President Dana White. He announced the main event and other fights for UFC 327, which is scheduled for April 11th. In Miami, beautiful Miami, Kaseya Center to be exact. Kind of hit me when all this was, when I was asking around about it yesterday. I was like, wow, this event is in a month and a half, and there's no main event, and there's very few fights announced for it. There was a time where, I mean, even less than a month and a half. April 11th is less than a month and a half, give or take a couple of days. There was a time where it was like 3 months out. Oh my God, there's no main event. The times they have changed. In any event, he announced that the main event for UFC 327 is going to be Jiri Prochazka against Carlos Ulberg for the vacant light heavyweight title. So, few things there. Obviously, as of yesterday, Alex Pereira was the light heavyweight champion. You know this. He beat Magomed Ankalaev in October. This fight will be for the vacant title, which means he is relinquishing. He is vacating the title, Alex Pereira. That's massive. That's probably the biggest news of them all because he has been talking about wanting to go up to heavyweight for quite some time. Now here's his chance. More on that in a moment. So they announced Jiri Prochazka versus Carlos Ulberg as the main event for UFC 327 for the vacant title. They got it right. That's the fight, 100%. Yes, Jiri has fought for the belt twice before, and he has not won those fights, but his last two fights were amazing, very exciting, big wins over the likes of Jamal Hill and Khalil Roundtree. He's supremely popular. He's the guy. And Ulberg has to be the guy. He's won 9 in a row. He's coming off that win over Dominic Reyes. Like, this was the fight to make. And usually I don't love when there's a vacant title, and there have been a bunch as of late. Like in the last 2-3 years, a lot of divisions have seen vacant titles. I don't love it. I'd rather a champion fight and defend. But in this case, Alex has already beaten Jiri twice, and I don't feel like there's like a strong desire. Like, it's not like we've been talking about Ulberg versus Pereira for quite some time. I don't actually hate it. Alex is reaching the end of his career, the tail end. Let him go for history. So this one, like, I think there'll be more interest in a weird way in seeing Prochazka versus Ulberg than Prochazka versus Pereira 3, just because he beat him twice. And trust me, I would watch the fight again, and they're both incredible, and both fights were spectacular and ended in spectacular fashion and all that stuff. But this feels fresh, and it feels like two deserving guys getting a chance to fight for the belt, and Alex could go on his way to make history. So I don't mind it. Usually I don't like it. This time I don't mind it. So that will be your main event for April 11th in Miami. Rest of the card was officially announced as well. Joshua Van versus Tatsuro Taira was already announced, and so that fight is going to be the co-main event for the flyweight title. Curtis Blades versus Josh Hokett. Also, we knew about this one already. Massive step up for Mr. Hokett. He wanted this fight. I like it. I like the matchmaking. Let's see what you're all about. Let's see if you're for real. Beneil Dariush versus Manuel Torres. Tough sledding for Beneil. He has said he's at the tail end of his career. So that and Torres has looked great. So that's a tough matchup. Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. A 205-pound fight will round out the main card. Other fights that were announced: Azamat Mirzakhanov against Paulo Costa, Patricio Pitbull against Aaron Pico. And you see that fight, you're like, these two guys are Bellator products. They were staples in Bellator. Did they not fight? No, they didn't. And we're getting in the UFC. Who would have thought in the year 2026 you'd get Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico on a UFC prelim? But that's what we're getting. Matej Gamrot against Esteban Ribovic. That's a good fight. That's a great fight. Cub Swanson versus Nate Landwehr. Is that the last one for Mr. Swanson? Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. That's a big-time fight for Randy. Obviously, everyone loves watching Kevin Holland. Kelvin Gastelum against Vicente Luque. By the way, this is a stacked card. As far as like pay-per-views are concerned, or whatever you want to call them now, numbered events, that's not bad. Tatiana Suarez against Lupe Godinez, and Christopher Alvidrez against Francisco Prado. That is a very deep, I'll say deep card. That is a very deep card, UFC 327 on April 11th. So there you have it. 2 title fights at the top of the bill. Some solid names, some up-and-comers, some veterans, some sneaky good matchups. The return of Paulo, that's always very exciting. I like it. So there you go. That was the announcement that everyone was going crazy for. Oh my gosh, we have to stay up. He said he was going to make an announcement on Instagram Live. We have to stay up for the news, for the big fight news. I don't know if you guys thought that he was going to announce the White House fights. He was not. I mean, they usually go. They usually don't skip. So you still had April. You still had May. Then it's the June card. Man, I got so much to talk about on Monday, but let me talk about Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira is no longer the light heavyweight champion. And I can tell you right here and now that there have been some talks. There have been some talks of him fighting John Jones. And there have been talks of him fighting John Jones on the White House card. John Jones on the White House card is not dead. But I could tell you, I don't feel as of right now a ton of positive momentum in that direction, but I'm not here to tell you that it's dead. There have been talks of this. John Jones, Alex Pereira, at heavyweight. There was also talks of doing it at 205. That was never going to happen. So obviously, I think Alex wants to fight at heavyweight to make history, and I think John doesn't want to go down to 205. But here's what I can tell you. There have been some talks of that. I think that would be a tremendous White House main event. I don't know if they ultimately get it done. And I think if they don't get it done, what I'm hearing is they would do Alex versus Ciryl Gane. Either for interim, I would think it would be interim. I think it would be insane to do anything other than interim. And I don't think Alex cares. I think he wants to be a 3-division champion. And then that would get him to hopefully Tom Aspinall when he comes back. And you're starting to see Ciryl talk about, training and getting ready and all this stuff. Alex Pereira, I could tell you this, is not giving up his belt to just fight, Alexander Volkov. And he wants to make history. Now, the only thing bigger than becoming a 3-division champion is being the first guy to beat John Jones. He wants that. If he can't get that, he's fighting for interim or, undisputed / vacant gold. And so this is sort of a tipping of the hand of what is to come. A big fight is coming for Alex Pereira. And I say, all power to you. Go for it. Now's the time. The heavyweight division is pretty damn thin. The best heavyweight right now is nursing, 2 bad eyes after double eye surgery. Now's the time. So we're either getting, in my opinion, Alex Pereira versus John Jones, or we're getting Alex Pereira versus Ciryl Gane. And we're going to get it in the next few months. And it's going to be massive because no one has ever won a belt in 3 divisions. So that's what that signifies. Pereira is no longer the champion at 205. He's been there, done that. He's fought everyone there except for Carlos Ulberg, but it's not, again, no one was banging the drum there. He's beaten Jiri twice. Let him go for history. He's in his late 30s. I love this. I think Alex versus Tom is a dream fight. I think Alex versus John is a dream fight. And I think Alex versus Ciryl has the history component to where it becomes a massive fight as well. So win, 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 win. Big time stuff. What a stretch for combat sports announcements. In the past week, we've gotten Conor Benn versus Regis Prograis. We've gotten Alexander Usyk against Rico Verhoeven. We've gotten Floyd Mayweather against Manny Pacquiao. We got a couple of weeks ago Gina Carano versus Ronda Rousey. Gina Carano versus Ronda Rousey. We're maybe getting an Alex Pereira fight for the heavyweight title in some way, shape, or form. It's been a crazy month. Just in time for me to leave, but just in time for me to come back. I wonder who's going to be the favorite in the Prochazka-Ulberg fight. We could do all that tomorrow or Monday. Sorry, I just actually woke up, but I wanted to get this out there because I wanted you guys to have a place to digest this all and also talk about it. Let us know, who do you think is going to win, Jiri Prochazka or Carlos Ulberg? What do you make of Pereira vacating the title? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Who do you want to see him fight in his heavyweight debut? Do you want to? Is John Jones versus Alex Pereira a White House main event? Again, I'll say they've talked about it. I don't know at this point if it's going to happen. But that feels, if it's not going to be Ilya, that's the biggest fight that you can make. And it might even be, I mean, John versus Alex is bigger than Ilya versus Justin. That's the biggest fight you can make. And I can also tell you, gosh, there's so much to get into. I don't want to do everything right now, but I can also tell you it doesn't look like it's going to be Conor on the White House card. They have a International Fight Week main event or card scheduled for July 11th, and that's in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. There's a greater chance of him fighting on that card than on the White House card because, as I've told you, there's no money to be made. In fact, they keep touting the fact that there's money to be lost from the White House event. No one's crying for them. I think they made like $850 million last year, according to what was released. In any event, and that's EBITDA. I'm not much of a financial guy, but it's like before interest, tax, you know, that whole thing. EBITDA. Who are the smart people? Where are they at? Please explain all this to me. Anyway, more likely that would happen July 11th as opposed to June 14th. So there you have it. Alex Pereira, no longer the light heavyweight title champion. That's the top line news. Carlos Ulberg versus Jiri Prochazka is a massive fight. April 11th, UFC 327. Tonight it's UFC Mexico City. And then I'm back on Monday, March 2nd. Live show. Couple guests already booked. Can't wait to be back. So excited to be in the studio. So excited to be back to doing my regular thing. It was a great month in Italia, but now it's time to get back to work. All right. Thank you for watching. We'll talk to you on Monday. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.